Welcome back to Walk Your Talk with Christ. So, my name is Melshani Collins. For those of you who are new here to this channel, this channel is all about learning how to authentically walk out your relationship with God, right? Whether you're a new Christian, a veteran, you want to learn more about Him, you've been backsliding or not, this is a channel where we can learn about God and how He works and understand His ways, because y'all, we'll be learning forever on trying to figure out how God does what He does, how He comes up to the conclusions that He comes up to. And so this is a channel for us to walk it out together. A lot of times, a lot of these situations that I talk about are things that I go through, things that I have been through, things that you all have went through, or you're going to go through, or are currently going through. And so, yeah, that is why we're here today. So you all, the title of this, I'm not, it's ain't a sermon, but the title that we're going to talk about today is, are you a warrior or a wimp? Okay, so I came up with this title because I started to figure out that the more that I learn about God, the more that I pray, the more that I'm obedient, the more that I start to walk in the things that God has for me, walk in my purpose. Y'all, the warfare is astronomical. Astronomical. I've probably been through warfare before. I believe that I have, but maybe I just didn't know like what it was. I just felt like the enemy was just irritating me, but I never really knew like warfare. And also, I never really knew how to like pray. Or no, I'm not even gonna say pray. I'm gonna say like I never knew the right things to do about it. Like I probably would say a quick prayer and go on about my business, right? There was no fasting, there was no declarations, decreeing, there was there was no bringing down strongholds. There was none of that because I didn't know a lot about that type of warfare and how to attack it. And so when I thought about warrior or wimp, I thought about myself, because me starting to walk in my purpose, God has called me to many uncomfortable places. And when I'm saying uncomfortable, I mean He's bringing me into being a business owner, right? So with that, I've got to like talk to people, network. I've got to sell myself and what I'm trying to do, which I never used to be comfortable with at all. I used to always want to be like just the one in the back. Don't worry about me. I'm good. And God is like, no, I've called you to be a leader. I've called you to the front lines. And even with doing this channel, one thing I never realized is that on this channel, I am literally giving people keys and tips on what to do, like whether you're a new Christian or not, or whether you are trying to find out about God, or whatever your purpose may be. If you come and look at this channel and the enemy is like, oh no, you are a target, you are a target. And I just was telling God, I was like, Lord, can I get a breather? Can I just be regular for a minute? And when I say regular, it's not like, oh, I'm up here and other people are down here. No, it means like, can I just like live like for a minute without an attack of the enemy? And I know that I don't even get to see nearly what's going on in the spiritual realm, because God only has a certain limit of what He'll let the devil do to me and what He'll let the devil do to you. And I'm very thankful for God only letting him have a limit on what he want to do, because the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So he will take it until he can kill you. Like that is what he wants to do. That's the completion of his job. Then he moves on to somebody else. And I just got into a point recently where I'm like, Lord, please, like, this is hard. And even when I want to cry and get emotional and get in my feelings, before it take me months. Like I'd be like, just like mad, living my life, doing what I want to do, like just being rebellious because I'm, like whatever, until I have to come back to God. And then it take me weeks, and then it'll take me days, and then now it takes me a day. Hopefully I can get down to hours, minutes. But yeah, I mean, it is so crazy because when you are fighting for the promises of God, and when I say fighting a promise, if God promised you something, He's going to give it to you, right? It is not something that He's like being a trickster about. If He says He's going to give you something, He's going to give it to you, but it comes with a price. You don't just get to wait until the promise gets here. You have to war over that thing because the enemy knows that there's something that God is trying to get to you. And because he wants to stop that, he's going to do everything to get you to not believe, to knock you off of your square, and to get you to start doubting what God told you. Now you're asking God, did I really hear you? Or he's going to keep hitting you and hitting you and hitting you and hitting you with so many things in the natural that you get to a point where you don't want to fight no more. You kind of just want to like, look, he won. I'm done. Like he won, because you get tired and it's like never ending. That's the season that I'm in right now, is that it is never ending. And I'm always thinking to myself, Mel, if you give up, he wins. You have to keep going no matter how many times he hits you, no matter how many times it hurts, because what you think you're giving up, you have no idea what God has planned for you. And y'all, I'm being honest. Today was one of those days I was just like, Lord, I'm through. I'm completely through. I'm tired. Because a lot of times you start to fight with yourself when things go wrong. You start to think, well, did I say something? Did I overstep you, Lord? Did I move ahead of you? Did I manipulate the situation? Did I sin and do something wrong? Because you start to feel like once you start to see the promise coming to you, and then all of a sudden it blows up in your face and you back at square one and you don't know why. And you are like, I'm over it, especially when it's something that you've been fighting. Imagine y'all getting in the ring and fighting every day for months. You're going to be tired. You're going to be tired just fighting consistently one day. But fighting for months and for months and for months of something, and God is like, it's here, it's coming, it's right now. And then it's like, it just blows up in your face. And now you're trying to get an understanding, like, did I do something wrong? What the heck happened? What happened? And so y'all, I've had to get to a point, the warrior or wimp stage, because I used to be a wimp. Okay? And when it comes to the spiritual, because see, this is what we have to learn, is that a lot of things have to happen in the spirit realm first before it can manifest into the natural realm. If you don't know how to fight in the spiritual realm, that's why your natural look crazy. And not because of the warfare. It look crazy because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. The enemy is just wreaking havoc in your life, and it's not because he's trying to stop you necessarily from getting something. It's because you letting him. And that's how I used to be. Y'all, just like I told y'all, I'm going to be honest. I do not like pain. Okay? In any way, shape, or form. If I don't like something, I'm going to stop doing it. Period. I'm going to try to find a way to get comfortable. But as God grows me and matures me, and this time he said, oh no, you can't afford to be comfortable. If you are comfortable, you will not walk in my purpose. If you are comfortable, people's lives and souls are at stake. If you are comfortable, your children's futures is at stake. You cannot afford to be overcome by fear. What did I tell you about who you are? Do you know who I am? And if you know who I am, then walk in who you are in me. And I'm like, Lord, but no, I just want to be in the bed and I just want to cry and I just don't want to talk to nobody. And he like, you ain't got time for that. I can give you certain moments, but you got to get back in the ring, put your gloves on and fight. Y'all, it done got so hard during this time of this season in my life where I just said, Lord, the enemy gonna have to steal that. He gonna have to steal that because I'm tired. I am tired of fighting. I am tired. Everywhere I turn around, it's a battle. And then when I'm not battling in the natural, it's in my mind. And I'm breaking down strongholds and I'm declaring and decreeing and I'm rebuking and, and then I'm over here and I'm isolated and I'm by myself. And so this time in my life, I felt like I was getting out of the wilderness. Like God was bringing me out. And God is like, yeah, I'm bringing you out, but I'm bringing you to your next level. And I'm like, what? Like, Lord, so there's like, I don't get to breathe. I don't get to like put my feet in the sand, get a little drink or nothing. He like, no, I've given you so many years of that. Like, it's time to work. I got people that need to be saved. I got souls that need to be reached. I got strongholds that need to be broken. No, you don't have time because the enemy is not taking time. He trying to get people out of here as quick and fast as possible. And because you gave me a yes, and because I know you're going to do what I told you to do, get up and do what I told you to do. And so I'm sitting here, y'all, and I had to constantly think about, that's what made me come up with warrior or wimp. Because are you a warrior or a wimp? And I'm thinking about it. Imagine in real life, you all. We always, in the natural, we always define people like who can fight by like how loud they are, how good they cuss, if they got them hands, like how big are they compared to their opponent. So many different factors, their reputation, right? Are they known to beat people up, or are they known to be scared and go home? We define fighting in that way. But what I really realize is that it doesn't matter what you can do in the natural, because everything that we fight is in the spirit realm. You can smack your sister, you can smack your homeboy, you can beat them up in the natural realm. But what the heck is going on in the spiritual realm that even caused you to get to that point in the first place? So what I had to start redefining is that if you could throw them hands and cuss somebody out and tell them about who they ain't and call them every name except for child of God and all these other things and feel like you big and bad and all these other things, that is weak. That is weak. That means that you do not have a hold in the spirit realm for God to tell you, shut your mouth. Stop hanging around that person. No, I actually want you to do something for that person. That's how God operates. See, the word will tell you, cuss them out, do everything to them to show them that you ain't nothing to play with. And God is like, actually, no. Actually, I want you to pray for that person. Actually, I want you to help that person. Actually, I want you to offer that person X, Y, and Z. Y'all, you have to be strong in the spirit realm to do that to an enemy. You cannot be you can't be all natural and then God tell you to do that, and now you like, because you're gonna say no. Lord, that person just talked about me, that person cussed me out, that person did me wrong, you don't know that, all of that other stuff, because you're not handling in the spiritual realm. A lot of us, if you keep seeing defeats in your life, you're letting the enemy win. That means you are a wimp. Period. I have to talk to myself like this. I literally have to talk to myself like this, because I got some self-esteem. So I'm like, man, I ain't no wimp. Period. Not in the natural and not in the spiritual either. And so God is like, well, if you not no wimp, then get up. If you not no wimp, then stop crying. I gave you the time to do that. It's done with now. Make your decision. Know who you are. I didn't ask you to use your own strength. I asked you to use mine. And so that's how I have to talk to myself. And so many of you, I'm like, y'all, we gotta start renewing our mind and changing our mindset around, because how long are you gonna let the enemy steal something from you because you're afraid? How long are you gonna let the enemy dictate to you how to live your life because you're too afraid? Step out on faith. Be strong. Tell God, I had to tell God today, Lord, I ain't got no strength left. Give me yours. Period. I got to be real with God. I ain't got nothing left to give. I don't. If you don't give me your strength, God, I guess I'm going to the dust. That's just how it is. That because y'all, when you decide to become a warrior and you decide to step out on the front lines and be that voice of God and do what God is telling you to do, oh, the enemy is like, hold on. I ain't got to worry about these other people over here because they ain't trying to follow God anyways. I got to get that one, because if I get that one, I can stop tens of thousands of millions of people from being delivered. I can stop her from telling everybody the secrets about how to do stuff. I can stop her from seeing victory in her own life. I can stop her from bringing down the strongholds of her the generational curses over her children. I can stop her from being a good wife to her husband. I can stop her. I can stop her. I can stop her. And that is what he's going to do. He's going to send his best for you. He's going to send his best for you. But you got to make the choice. God is not going to come down here and do the work for you. He's not. He's going to help you and he's going to be with you, but you got to do it for yourself. God is trying to mature you. He's trying to grow you up. He's trying to do so many different things in your life so that you can walk in your victory. Walk in who you are. We are made in his image and in his likeness. But how long are we going to allow the devil to keep stealing stuff from us? Because the only reason why you do that is because you're too afraid to fight. You're too afraid to put your dukes up. You're too afraid to tell the enemy to go back where he came from. You're not with it today. You're too afraid to make the right choice. Because the enemy is counting on you to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over until you made your last mistake and you wake up and your eyes are in hell. That is what he wants. But sometimes you feel you would rather, and this is me too, we would rather gratify our flesh real quick to get that temporary satisfaction. And if you're in tune with God and you find yourself telling somebody off, God gonna say, go back and apologize. Now pride is coming into it. Now your ego is coming into it. Instead of you not saying something the first time when God tells you to shut up, you should have just shut up the first time. You wouldn't even have to go back and apologize. But no, you just had to gratify that flesh. When you see that good looking girl walking down in them jeans, and the devil is like, yeah, go holler at her. You know she'll go. Knowing you got a whole situation, but you want the little 2 minutes of gratification. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then now your whole life is wreaked in havoc. When you feel like you was bad enough because somebody talked about your mama or said this or said that. So now you want to take a gun somewhere. And you think you big and bad enough. Until you pull up on the scene and your gun is not going to save you. And then that person end up killing you. When you end up waking up, wherever you're going to wake up now, don't know. But let's just say you wake up in hell. When you wake up in hell, is it going to be worth it? Was it worth it because somebody stole $1,000 from you and so you was going to get your money back to kill them and they killed you? Was it worth it for you to lose your life? We let the enemy trick us out of living. We let the enemy trick us out of the promises of God. We let the enemy trick us into fear and anxiety. Y'all, I'm including myself. I literally have to tell myself all the time that God is not giving me the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I have to tell myself who I am because the enemy is always telling me who I'm not. So I have to keep telling myself who I am until the enemy wants to move on to something else, because he's going to keep doing stuff as long as you live. Period. So we have to decide, because even when you're talking about being a new Christian, you don't think that the warfare is not going to start with you, because the enemy wants to immediately dispel what God is not. Immediately. Because everything about your life doesn't change just because you decide to follow Jesus. Just because you decide to follow God. And here's a little secret. Just because you decide to follow him does not mean that your life is going to be gravy. does not mean that everything is going to magically just line up in order and bam, everything is good. No, see, what God does is you are a new baby in him. You know how you have to keep feeding the new baby? Until eventually you start giving them the spoon. And then now they can go to the cabinet and get their own spoon and fork and make a bowl of cereal. It's a gradual process. And so God will keep spooning you, feeding you. He'll keep being there, and he's always going to be there. But eventually he needs you to grow up and say, okay, enough is enough now. You got to fight, and I'm going to give you the tools. You can't keep letting the enemy beat you up over the same stuff. You can't. How many of us have been fighting with things that the enemy has been beating us up with for years? The same stuff. Relationship stuff. Finances, financial stuff. Confidence issues, like all of these things that the enemy is, he just beating us over the head and he enjoying it because he's like, man, they ain't never gonna learn. I can always use that low self-esteem on them. I can always use that sexual abuse on them. I can always use them drugs and alcohol on them. I can always use, their trauma. I can always use, because he knows that there's certain things that we don't let go or we don't know how to let go. And so we got to get to a point, y'all. Either we got to fight or we got to fight. There's no more giving up. Either we got to fight or we got to fight. And the enemy, you don't think he goes to God and say, hey, let me do a little something. Let me do a little something. And before you know it, now God is like, okay, well, I've taught them, all this other stuff. Satan, there's only certain things you can do. Let's see. And then those are the same things that we like, oh my God, we know how to fight, but y'all, it be hard. It is not easy. And so what I wanted to bring to you the story of Job, y'all. Who all knows the story of Job? I feel like I've been hearing the story of Job for a long time, but I, started reading about it and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, it makes sense. So y'all, I'm going to read different pieces of it, but I'm going to give you the full story. All right, so y'all, I'm reading the New International Version in the Bible, and I am in Job 1, verse 6 through 12. So it said, on one day the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, where have you come from? Satan answered the Lord, from roaming through the earth and going back and forth and minding my business, doing what I do, wreaking havoc in homes and stuff. That's what he meant. Right? So then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. Satan said, does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. So basically said that, Satan said, first of all, hold on. Only reason why Job is serving you is because you've been protecting him. You don't bless his house, his finances, his flock. So that's why he's serving you. Why are you telling me, have I tried him? He just serving you because of what you're doing for him. And he said, but stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. The Lord said to Satan, very well then, everything he has is in your hands, but on the man himself do not lay a finger. Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. So y'all, that's an agreement that God and Satan just came in. Because he said, oh Satan, why you pulling up on me? What's up, partner? What's going on with you? And Satan like, man, just doing my business, doing my thing, living my life out here in these streets. And then he was like, okay, well, have you heard of Job? Oh, good old Job. He's blameless. He's upright. He's better than any person in the world. Satan like, cool. Like, let me get on that real quick. Because you think he is blameless and upright, but he only like that because of what you're providing for him. I guarantee you, if you try to take everything away from him, he will curse you to your face. And God said, oh, really? Try him. Try him. And you could go ahead and do whatever you want to do. Just don't lay a hand on that man. Satan said, cool, agreement done. Right? So the first thing that we got into, y'all, is immediately some craziness and chaos started going on in Job's life. First thing, he had servant or a messenger running to him talking about, hey, somebody just stole all your camels, and killed all your servants. I'm the only one left. Somebody else came to him, hey, somebody done killed all your animals and your servants, and I'm the only one left. Then somebody else came to him and said, hey, there was a big old strong wind when your children was in the house, drinking and being merry, and it killed them. Y'all, this all happened like this. Of course, Job was like, hold on, what the heck is going on? What did I do? I love God. I serve him. I'm honest. I'm upright. I'm blameless. Like, what did I do to deserve this? Y'all, that was a lot that God just let him go through real quick. That was a lot. Like, all his servants, all his animals, his camels, his family killed. His children killed, right? So imagine if we all went through that, like in one span of time. That would be a lot. That would really be a lot. But imagine your story could be your car broke down. Now you can't get to work and you're getting written up. And now your check's short. Kids acting up. Man disappeared. Rent need to be paid, or rent went up, or whatever the case was. That, those are some of our circumstances, but I would not want Job's circumstances. Period, point blank. So y'all, Job was going through it. Like he done went through a lot. So then his homeboys heard about what was going on with him. His homeboys was named Bildad, Zophar, and Eliphaz, right? These are some of the wisest people in their area. Like, they got it going on when it comes to this mental thing. They're smart, they just got it going on. So all his friends were like, hey, bro, something going on with Job, and we got to go and console him. Cause he done had the earth come from under his feet. We gotta go see about him. So they came and they came. All of them got together. They came from different places, and they all saw Job, and they looked at Job like, bruh's tore down. He tore down. I mean, when they walked, they saw him from afar and started crying. They started crying because they're like, what the heck? Man, our partner is out. He down for the count. What's going on? So, of course, all of them in their wisdom tried to come up with a reason why Job was going through everything he was going through. It didn't make no sense. Tried to figure it out. So they all talking like, bro, did you cheat? Like, did you steal? Like, did you sing? Did you curse God out? Did you kill somebody? Did you still take somebody's animals or something? Like, they trying to come up with all the reasons of why Job was going through what he's going through. And Job like, man, I ain't did nothing. Man, I just love God, minding my business, being honest, being upright, everything. I have not done anything. And so they all stumped like, what the heck? And y'all, I just got to read to y'all a few of Job's words. Because Job was not playing. He was like, Lord, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So y'all, I am going to read Job 10. Where is it? I'm going to read Job 10, verses 1 through 8. Job said, I loathe my very life. Therefore, I will give free rein to my complaint and speak out in the bitterness of my soul. I will say to God, do not condemn me, but tell me what charges you have against me. Like, bro, tell me what I did. Tell me what I did to deserve what's been going on with me. And he said, does it please you to oppress me, to spurn the work of your hands while you smile on the schemes of the wicked? So I'm good old Joe. Does it please you to trouble me when we got people out here in the streets living crazy? Come on, God. We supposed to be here. So then he said, do you have eyes of flesh? Do you see as a mortal sees? Like, Lord, something wrong with you? Because I don't deserve what's going on. He said, are your days like those of a mortal, or your years like those of a man, that you must search out my thoughts and probe after my sin, though you know I am not guilty, and that no one can rescue me from your hand? Your hand shaped me and made me. Will you now turn and destroy me? Job like, bro, God, what is going on? I don't deserve this. I mean, like, did something happen with you? Because me and you was good. We was road dogs. We was in there. I'm honest. I'm loyal. I love you. I'm paying my tithes, my sacrifices. I'm giving everything to you. What have I done to deserve this? And then I'm going to read Job 19. Because now in between, he coming to God and like, Lord, what's going on? All of his buddies, Bildad, Zophar, and Eliphaz is coming to him like, look, we need to figure this out because you did something. You did something. And Job like, man, I ain't did nothing. They like, nah, you did something. So we're going to go to Job 19. And then we're going to read down verse 1 through 11. He says, how long will you torment me and crush me with words? 10 times now you have reproached me. Shamelessly you attack me. If it is true that I have gone astray, my error remains my concern alone. He's like, look, just tell me what I did wrong. I'm willing to like own up to it. I'm sorry. Like, what did I do wrong? And he said, if indeed you will exalt yourselves above me and use my humiliation against me, then know that God has wronged me and drawn his net around me. Though I cry, I have been wronged, I get no response. Though I call for help, there is no justice. He has blocked my way so I cannot pass. He has shrouded my paths in darkness. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. He tears me down on every side till I am gone. He uproots my hope like a tree. His anger burns against me and he counts me among his enemies. He like, at this point, Lord, you don't put war on my head. Like you put a price on my head. You done declared war on me. Man, his wife even got to a point like, bro, just accept what you did and die. Like, curse God out and then die. And then his friend, look, Zophar and Eliphaz and Bildad came like, bro, you sinned. That's the only thing we can come up with, because I don't know why God did what he did to you, but you sinned. You sinned. But it wasn't, he didn't sin. He didn't. But he was showing up trying to figure out, like, what did I do? But he did not sin. He didn't sin. God was just trying to prove a point to Satan, like, you cannot turn somebody that loves me against me because of troubles that's in their life. And Job got to a point like, man, I'm going to serve you if it's good. I'm going to serve you if it's bad. I'm just at that point now. And at the end of the story, God restored everything to Job for the rest of his life. He restored everything, double portion, for his loyalty to him, for his love for him. He restored everything. And so I'm asking y'all, how many of y'all done had Shaniqua and Tammy and Keisha and them come to you when stuff start going wrong in your life and trying to tell you, girl, what you did? What you did? Trying to give you advice on how to handle warfare. Y'all, that you can't take advice from people when it comes to stuff like that. You got to be able to ask God, come to his face and ask God, like, what the heck is going on? And let God tell you what happened, and then let God deal with you. And he'll teach you how to fight. And if you know how to fight, just fight. If you know how to fight, just fight. But you have to choose to fight. Job could have cursed God out and died, like his wife said, because he was unjustly wronged. He was unjustly wrong, but he did not give up. He said, you know what? I'm going to love you either way. And he did. He did. He loved God either way. And so at the end of the day, y'all, when it comes to warrior or wimp, which one are you? You gonna let the devil steal stuff from you like he been doing? Or you gonna put up your dukes, put on your boxing gloves and fight? You have to fight. And even when you are fighting and you feel like what the heck is going on in your life, everything is going crazy, and you feel like it's not justified, even if you did sin, you feel like, okay, Lord, this is it's too much. What did I do? You still have to choose to love God, praise him in your adversity. And so I am telling you all today, choose. You can let the devil steal from you and let him control your life. Or you can find out what God has for you and choose to fight for it. Choose, y'all. That's a choice I have to tell myself every day. Mel, you can either let the devil win, but you can't afford to let the devil win, or you can fight. Which one are you going to choose? Y'all, in every single day, I have to choose to fight. Are there some days when I just choose silence? I don't tell God nothing? Yep. Whatever God decide what I'm doing, because I silent, that's his business. But I be silent. I don't say nothing. I said, Lord, I need this day. Lord, this is a day of rest. I'm choosing to rest. How about that? I'm choosing to rest. And so y'all, choose. Choose. I don't care whether you're a new Christian. I don't care whether you're a veteran. New Christian, you're going to have to war at some point. Veteran Christian, you're going to have to war. And you're going to have to keep warring. With the more that you know, the more you walk in your purpose, the more faith you develop, you're going to have to keep warring, because the enemy is not going to give you this stuff just because you warred one time. No, sometimes you got to war for months, years, weeks, because the enemy is not trying to give up his territory. And that is what he is after. So y'all, choose. Are you a warrior or a wimp? And whatever you choose, beware that it comes with some consequences. And so y'all, that is my time. Again, my name is Mel Shanique Collins. This is Walk Your Talk with Christ. You all, if you want to send me some topics, email me at info@mcollinsgrace.com. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.